Shalom Aleichem Rabotai, this is Rabbi Kovacs. Hope everyone had a wonderful Chag and Yom Tov and Simchat Torah. This is the Limud Mishnah Yomi for Isru Chag, and we are in the second parak of Orlah, Mishnah Zayin. Now yesterday in Mishnah Vav, we talked about the stringency by min b'mino, something mixed with the same species, where the something mixed in is usur. The example they gave was truma, which is being used as a sourdough and leavening a dough of hullin, of regular unsanctified produce. Now with min b'mino, again this is yesterday's Mishnah, with min b'mino, they're both wheat, or they're both barley. There is a stringency where if you don't have enough to be mevatel the truma, you don't have 100 parts hullin to 1 part truma, then it's all usur to non-kohanim. And even if you do have over 100 parts, 100 or more parts of hullin per 1 part of truma, if this leavening agent, this sourdough, this yeast is powerful enough to be mechametz the dough, it's still usur, because again, it's a starter, a mamid, it's not batel. The Mishnah Zayin, which Mishnah Vav referred to this case, Mishnah Zayin brings the case of min b'she'eno mino. They're two different species, Rabosai, with two different tastes. And we said it's lahakel or chachmir. It can be makel or machmir. It's not always machmir, it's not always stringent, like the case of min b'mino. Here it can be lahakel or chachmir. How does this work? Min b'she'eno mino. This is something mixed with a different species, a different taste. Ketzad was an example, kagon grisin, like these certain beans. These grisin are beans that they would pound up. Shenit boshlu imadoshim, and he's cooking them with lentils. You have these pounded up beans. It's probably some sort of mushy stuff mixed in with lentils. So it's all one big mixture with two different tastes. V'yesh bahen benoten tam. And if these beans are the truma, they're giving flavor into the mixture. Bein sheyesh bahen lahalot be'echad b'meya, uvein she'ein bahen lahalot be'echad b'meya asur. If they're giving a flavor to the mixture, whether they are 1 out of 100, and they would be normally batel if they were not giving a flavor, if they're min b'mino, or they don't have 100, even if they're 1 out of 50, 1 out of 99, it's usur in any event because they're giving a flavor you could taste. Now, of course, since it contains truma that's possibly not batel, you ask a Kohen to taste it for you if you're not a Kohen. That way you're not going to get into any problems. Now, the Mishnah continues with the makel case. Ein bahen benoten tam. If there's not a lot of beans and you don't taste the beans, again, the Kohen doesn't taste the beans in this lentil stew mixture, bein sheyesh bahen lahalot be'echad b'meya, uvein she'ein bahen lahalot be'echad b'meya mutter. Then whether you have 100 parts hullin lentils versus 1 part of truma beans, or even if you don't have 100 parts, maybe you only have 50 or 60 or 70 parts of lentils versus your truma beans, mutter. It's all mutter because it's not giving any discernible taste to the food. And again, this is the distinction from the min b'mino case, where it's the same species with the same taste, where over there, you can't do a taste test. So you have to have both bittel of, one part of truma in 100 of hullin, and it can't be the starter, which is being leavening or affecting the entire mixture. Mishnah Ches, Mishnah 8, Seor shel hullin. You had non-kadosh, regular old hullin sourdough starter, shenafel l'tochisa, and it falls into the dough. V'yesh bo kadei l'chametz. There's enough in this sourdough to leaven the entire dough. That's if you start to mix it together. V'achar kach, but before he mixes it up and it actually does the leavening, nafel seor shel truma. Then some more sourdough falls in, but this was a truma sourdough. Or it's kilayim, would be the same din Orlah. V'yesh bo kadei l'chametz, and this usur starter, the starter that has an issue, it's truma or it's kilayim, and that has enough power independently to cause chimetz, to cause leavening to the entire batch. Usur, it's usur. Now you might have thought that even though the hullin starter, the hullin seor, was capable by itself of doing the fermentation and the leavening, Lamaisa didn't do it yet. And this other additional starter, which has a problem, a truma problem, a kilayim problem, this additional starter is going to make this dough ferment and leaven much more quickly than the hullin would by itself, so it does have an effect in the dough and renders it usur. Shkoyach Rabosai, be well.